In this supermarket, it's amazing. Just stepping out meets the supermarket manager fixing the generator. What a tech. Little Handsome shared the bizarre tale, but they looked at him like he was an alien, insisting on exploring the warehouse. They found the generator's exhaust valve clogged, and the young guy Dashin boldly volunteered to fix it. What a brave soul. No one knew what was outside, risking their lives, yet his brave act led everyone to think he was a coward. Mechanic Old One bellowed, "Who do you think you are to boss me around? I dare anyone to stop Dashin from his fate." Dashin roared and swung open the garage door, only to find the mist casually wandering, as if it needed to be greeted. Dashin turned back smugly, but suddenly, a tentacle popped out of the mist, snagging his ankle like a claw machine. Just a moment ago, Old One was shouting. Now he's stunned like a statue. The manager immediately smashed a window and grabbed an axe, ready to take action. Just as he was about to swing, the tentacle yanked Dashin out. Such a rough move. The manager swung and missed, and Dashin was dragged into the mist. Little Handsome urgently commanded everyone to shut the door, but got stuck by a tentacle. Little Handsome swung his axe like a superhero and chopped off the tentacle. Only then did Old One realize he made a huge mistake. And he sent Dashin to open the door. Dashin wouldn't have suffered, but Old One insisted it wasn't his fault. Little Handsome was fuming like a volcano, ready to teach Old One a lesson, but right now the crucial thing was to make everyone believe in the monster's existence. This situation was too bizarre. Little Handsome suddenly thought of Black Hair, a big lawyer, like a real-life law firm. Little Handsome spilled the beans to Black Hair, who surprisingly didn't even give him an ear, thinking Little Handsome was joking. The bickering escalated like a debate over whose singing was better, drawing a crowd, forcing Little Handsome to spill the whole story. To verify the truth, the crowd sent the supermarket manager to check it out, and upon seeing the tentacle, he completely lost it. The manager poked. The tentacle quivered into black goo, instantly convincing all. Everyone had to accept the fact that the monster was lurking in the mist. To save their skins, they started hauling in rice and dog food to reinforce the glass walls. Most had accepted reality, yet 2 individuals remained lost in their artistic bubbles, oblivious to the world around them. One was the lawyer, convinced that monsters were a figment of Little Handsome's imagination, and even called for everyone to join him into the mist. The other, a shamaness, claimed it was divine punishment for human transgressions. Without blood sacrifice, all would be harmless. The shaman's words failed to draw followers, but sparked more disdain, prompting the blonde to slap her. Yet the shaman persisted. Her curse is even more venomous, a true immortal snake. Thankfully, the manager intervened, threatening to tape her mouth shut if she kept yapping. What a smart move. Well, that silenced the shaman, and Little Handsome wanted to find some guns for self-defense, but most had left them in the cars. Luckily the clever blonde had one. After discussion, they gave the gun to the best shooter. Meanwhile, Black Hair rounded up suicidal people. Ridiculous. Little Handsome had no choice but to ask him to tie a rope, just in case. At least they could track the creature's general location. A rock and roll uncle stood up and agreed to Little Handsome's request. Then they opened the supermarket door, bravely stepping into the mist. The rope extended longer and longer, everyone buoyant, thinking they had it under control, only to discover the rope slackened, like a deflate. Suddenly, the rope went taut as if yanked by something unknown. Everyone's heart sank. Strange things were just getting started. Their hands were scraped raw, yet they wouldn't let go. Even weirder, the rope started moving on its own, far scarier than a ghost story. As the weight disappeared, Little Handsome and the others toppled over, and when they pulled back the rope, it was covered in blood. How horrifying. The rope's end was intact with 2 rock and roll uncles, while Black Hair and company had seemingly reached the creature's den. Fear engulfed the scene. Little Handsome decisively cut the rope and slammed the door shut, paranoid that the monster might pop out at any moment to talk about a tense party. Say, you believe now? This is definitely God's punishment. The shaman seized the moment to speak, leaving those who previously disagreed speechless. Soon it was night time. Everyone built a fortress from random stuff, taking turns on guard. The fear of death left everyone breathless. More and more bugs swarmed the glass walls, and suddenly, a flying monster swooped in, crashing like a thug on the surface. Everyone watched the creature gulping up bugs, nerves on edge, thinking, this is it, we're probably in for a wild night. Little Handsome noticed the bugs' phototaxis and turned off their lights, but his overexcited teammate turned them back on. The glass couldn't handle it and broke upon the monster's assault. Bugs flooding in like a tidal wave. What a disastrous swap. They watched in horror as the bugs invaded. Feeling utterly hopeless, the blonde girl was knocked away in an instant. Poor Clerk didn't have such luck, getting bitten by a bug, his neck swelling up immediately. Such a painful sight. At that moment, a bug quietly landed next to the shaman. Oddly enough, it flew but didn't bite her, as if it knew she'd cuddle it. Everyone watched in amazement, pondering whether the shaman was truly sent by the gods. Meanwhile, another bug made its entrance, crashing onto some guy, and chaos ensued. Little Handsome lit a torch, and with the blonde girl's help, they finally forced the monster back. It was sheer pandemonium. Just as they were about to let out a sigh of relief, they heard the sun calling out to them. After the battle ended, everyone hurriedly gathered wooden planks to repair the shattered glass walls. Meanwhile, the bone man had given up, begging Little Handsome to give him a quick end. What despair! However, the lovable Little Handsome would never allow life to fade before his eyes, deciding to hit the pharmacy at dawn. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe.